Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you're at. I want to thank you for checking in on this episode of the Cali Truck Stop Theater. So, hope everybody's doing good. Ah, milk does about it good. But I haven't had this kind before. I like milk. I don't know. This I got this at the truck stop. I'm stopped for the day, and just decided to get on here. While I was driving, there was some things that I was thinking about. Um, you know, and so I'm gonna try to remember them. Uh, try to remember them and speak on it. But it's basically about the you know it's gonna be another coronavirus rant. But yeah, but the first thing I was talking about was the milk. Is like um, I'm here. I've been here a couple of times already before. I'm out here at. I keep trying to call this place Crazy Horse, but it's called Horse Cave, Kentucky. So I'm out here in Kentucky right now. I'm right across the street from the little zoo that's here, where you can go pet kangaroos. And so maybe one of these days I'll go and adventure out over there and see what they got over there. See the kangaroos and maybe pet and feed some, huh? Because well, hell, it might be cheap. It'll be way cheaper. Well, I don't know. With the way that the prices are for the airlines and stuff, I could probably go to Australia and go check out the real kangaroos. You know what I'm saying? The ones, the real ones that the ones down in Australia, hardcore, the hood ones. you know. Um, but yeah. So, anyways, with the milk, um, I got this with my Love's points, and so that's one of the good perks. Um, one of the perks with truck driving. Um, the company doesn't provide that for you, but they do in a way. See, I get my points um, based upon the amount of fuel that I purchase for the truck, or actually the company's purchasing it, but I reap the benefits of the points because I got my little loyalty card, which the loyalty card the loyalty points go onto my card. So I get points, which is like you know which is like having cash. So I build up points, and I can buy stuff at the store, except for alcohol and lottery tickets, that kind of stuff. But yeah, you can some of these places you can go ahead. They got fast food places. Sometimes like Love's will have like Carl's Jr. and stuff like that. And at many of those Loves, you can go and you can purchase your Carl's Jr. meal with the Love's points, just like having cash. So, and I'll do that on occasion. If I'm ever on video, uh, you know, macking down on on some Carl's Jr. or something, and most likely I got it by racking up my points. Um, hey, it saves on money. I could put that money towards other things that are needed. And so I like chocolate milk. And when I was coming back to the truck, I was I was thinking about certain things that I like, and there's a couple of things that I like. I was reminded of one today, but there's a couple of things. Um, it's just a few of many, but gunpowder and brake dust. I like gunpowder smell more than the brake dust. Um, but yeah, brake dust has a unique, a unique smell to it, and it's it's all right. I mean, you know, but gunpowder, I like that. And you know, somebody should uh somebody should make make like little scents, uh, different weird scents. I would say, I mean, get an air freshener. That's the gunpowder. I mean, there's a lot of people that like the smell of gunpowder. Um, you got the new car smell. Why not have new tire? New tire smell. Um, Here's another idea. How about have wet asphalt? You know, um, I kind of like that after certain rain. You know, um, unless the road's been caked on with with piss and all kinds of other crap. The aroma that comes from wet asphalt is unique, and if the road is not too dirty and it doesn't bring up all the aromas of the stuff that's been baked into it, other than whatever's made to make asphalt, it does have a unique smell, and it is kind of pleasant. I used to enjoy it a lot when I was a kid. After the rain, it was like it, and it's not after a heavy rain, because it kind of drowns everything out. Just a light rain, where it just gets the ground just a little bit. Um, it gives the ground just a little bit of moisture, and it releases that aroma. I kind of like that too. But so yeah, but yeah, the coronavirus and stuff like that. I'm telling you, I cannot go. Well, now I can't go a day without hearing uh, uh, the about this coronavirus and stuff, right? It's like I'm out here driving and stuff now. I'm still connected to the internet and stuff like that, and YouTube. Some of the YouTube videos that come up recommended for me are popping up with the coronavirus and stuff like that. But the times that I go into, like, let's say a truck stop, I got to go in there and I got to do my business in the truck stop. Somebody's always in there making talking, making some comment about the coronavirus, or cracking some joke or whatever. You can't get away from it. I mean, like this morning, um, I was fueling up, and another driver was making some small talk with me, right? And I asked how he's doing, and the thing came out of his mouth was like, oh yeah, I'm all right. What did he say? He said I can't wait for this coronavirus to go away. And I done already put it out my mind. And I was like, and I didn't exactly hear hear correctly what he said. I thought he said something about a fire. I'm like, so I was like, huh, what? I'm like, where was? I was about ready to ask him where was the fire at, but then he repeated himself, and I was like, and at first it didn't click with me, coronavirus. I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like, oh, I'm like, dang. So it's like, I'm just, I try to put that stuff out of my mind. It's like, I'm not afraid of it or anything like that. But it's like, I'm done talking about it. I'm done hearing about it and stuff like that. So I cast that stuff aside, because you don't want to keep hearing too much of that stuff, because you end up hearing all that stuff, and it keeps cycling through your head and stuff like that. And if it cycles through your head long enough, you're gonna start believing it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna start remembering the stuff. And so I'm like, I don't wanna sit here and constantly talking about this stuff. But here I am once again talking about it, and so I'm putting another tear in the bucket, but yeah, and so, but now, like I said, now, well, like I've said in other videos, it's like, when I'm out in these places, I'm like being very observant of stuff, right? The people, the condition of the area that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? And so, typically when you're going into places like these truck stops, these are the for me, these are the most congested places that I go to. So, so I'm like really, looking out and and observing people and stuff like that, and I try not to stay too close to anybody. Um, that kind of stuff. So, I'm standing in line waiting to pay for my milk and stuff, right? And I see I see this one dude coming in the door, and I mean, this dude is so damn like scared to get stuff on him. He's like he walked up to the door, and he put his foot up to the door handle and tried to pull the door open to get the door open up enough to where he can shimmy his way on in there. But his balance wasn't all that great, and just the way that he was trying to hook onto the door handle there wasn't working out too well for him. So he spent about, I don't know, at least 30 seconds trying to fumble with the door to open it up. Excuse me. And it wouldn't open up for him. So he took the sleeve of his jacket, and he starts doing all this, right? And he starts trying to grab the thing, and things run through my mind is like, you do know that if you're trying to avoid the germs, it's practically useless, especially using your sleeve to go and grab the door. I mean, because whether you get it on your hands or on your clothes, it's still going to be with you, and you're going to eventually get it on your hands anyways, because now you got it in the shirt sleeve there. When you go and you grab the shirt sleeve to go pull the jacket off, guess what? You just now got it on your hands now. So there's it's totally useless, and that's what I wanted to talk about. Because people are increasingly getting fearful of these viruses and stuff like that. And it's like, it's already out there that the coronavirus, yes, it has killed people, but it's killed certain people. Usually, it's just like some of these other viruses. The older people or those who have other medical ailments, they're more susceptible to having this virus kill them, because they're already dealing with complications, or their immune system is not up to par. So when you get hit with something like this coronavirus or the flu virus, whatever it is, you have a higher potential of dying from it. And a lot of times it's not because of the virus itself that causes you to get sick, or that will cause a person to die. It's because the person's body is already fighting stuff, and so when that virus gets introduced into their system, that's just something else that that the body has to fight. And what happens is that the body is already trying to fight and repair and do all this kind of stuff with what's already going on. So now you got this virus that comes in, and your immune system gets word that this other pathogen is in your body, and it's like, that we need to get rid of, and so it's like everybody, the immune system is like, all hands on deck, let's go and take care of this. And so your immune system is now trying to attack this virus, which probably it's more of a concern. So it goes and starts attacking that virus. Now now whatever it was working on, whatever complications it was already working on, the immune system is not really so worried about that, and so now it's too busy attacking this new virus that came in. This already pre-existing condition is now able to thrive again, and in a lot of cases that's what's killing people. Like you come down, get sick, and you get pneumonia. You get the virus, but then you end up having like pneumonia and stuff like that, and then you end up dying from pneumonia because your lungs get filled with fluids, because the body starts neglects that problem to go take care of something else, and you come up with with pneumonia and stuff like that, and so you end up dying. So they're saying, okay, they're saying that the real young kids and the older adults are the ones who should be careful, because their immune systems are not they're not up to par. For the younger ones, the immune systems are not strong enough. The immune system hasn't built itself up enough to be strong enough to properly fight the virus or disease. And for the older people, their immune system is starting to weaken. It's starting to shut down. Just because they're older. But so the panic is flaring up because the people that are in the middle, who don't have any pre-existing conditions and their immune system is up to par, a lot of them are freaking out because they don't want to get sick. Nobody wants to get sick. I mean, nobody in their right mind wants to get sick. But the problem is that most people are fearful of dying, and this is the thing that's really the root source of the problem. Is people that are it's not so much that the people are afraid of getting the virus, but they're afraid that the virus is going to kill them. And a lot of them are afraid of dying, which I understand. You're afraid of dying, for at least one or two things. Either well, for the most part, you're afraid of dying because you don't know what's going to happen to you after your body dies. You know what I'm saying? You're afraid of the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen to you, and a lot of the times it's because everybody knows that instinctively everybody knows that when you die, you're either going to go to a place of paradise, you're going to go to a place of hell, and instinctively and inherently nobody wants to go to a place of hell. Everybody wants to go to a place of paradise. Now you could say, "Oh, well, I don't believe in that stuff." Well, whether you believe in it or not, it's not the fact that you don't believe. It's the thing. It's the thing that you don't want to believe. You don't want to believe that these things are actually real and true. And so, but also, you're afraid to die because you don't want to go to hell. Okay. Or you don't want to be in a place that's considered to be hellish, whatever you descript that in your mind. But yet you don't want to do the work to secure your life to ensure that you go to a place of paradise, which I don't understand why you wouldn't want to do that. But yeah, and it's true. You got to understand that we're all going to die. In one way or another, we're all going to die. And you either are going to go to paradise or to a hell. So why not make the decision that you're going to do whatever you need to do to go to the paradise, because you don't want to go to the hell. And just be happy with that, And so once you make that decision, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter how you die, Hold on. Now, now for me, I know where I'm going. It doesn't matter how I die. That doesn't mean that I'm ready to die or that I want to die right now. But if that should happen, I know that my spirit is secure in going into the place of paradise. And that's what we should all be like that. We should all be comfortable in in that fact. And with that aspect, we shouldn't fear death. Okay? Now, we shouldn't fear anything, but you know, you like myself, we still have certain fears for certain things, So, um, but the ultimate goal is to not be fearful of stuff. And I can't I can't nor should I ever put somebody down because they're afraid of something like a disease or something like that. When I have the same, when I have the it's not the same type of fear, but I still have a fear of certain things, which I'm trying to get over. Um, so I mean, but the thing is, I'm trying to help you understand that you shouldn't be fearful, and in return, I'm hoping that somebody will um, will help me with some of my fears. We gotta help one another out with whatever we're dealing with. That's a part of loving one another. We have to love one another. That is a commandment that Jesus has given to us, is that we should love one another. We should love one another. We should love each other like we love ourselves. So, if I can try to help you overcome something that you're struggling with, you know, hopefully you can help me overcome something that I struggle with, and we can move on forward together. Um, so, but I talk about this, and I talk about how oh, I'm not gonna get this, I'm not gonna get this virus and stuff like that, and I'll sometimes crack jokes at it. I'm not being arrogant, I'm not being boastful, except for that I'm boasting in my God that is protecting me from these things. But the thing is that the key thing is being wise about it. You get knowledge, and you get wise about stuff, and you can practically eliminate the chances of catching a sickness. So it's not that I can't get it no more. It's not that you let's say I'm not saying that you have a greater chance of getting it than I do. I'm just saying that because God has me protected, um, the chances are practically zero that it's going to take effect on me. And what was I going to say in regards to that? It was um, like I said, it's just common sense. Well, I don't know. People saying common sense is not really common, but I mean it is the wisdom. Okay. Um, you gotta understand. It's like I can catch the virus, but the uh, the the wisdom and the protection comes in the wisdom. It comes in the knowledge. So if I know, hey, you need to wash your hands more. You need to start wiping down surfaces more. Um, you need to make sure that you're not. excuse me. That's not the corona. You need to make sure that you're not rubbing your face with dirty hands and stuff like that. You want to try to keep yourself as clean as possible, so that you don't get sick. I mean, that's you know, that's pretty much where the protection comes from. Now, however, you getting the virus, you still have protection. You know, you may contract the disease, like many of them have, and they've actually recovered. And whether you know it or not, or whether you believe it or not, that's God's protection on you. You know, if this virus is known to kill people, and you contract it and you don't die from it, that is God's protection. He's not letting you die from that virus, or whatever transpires from having the virus. So understand it. That's God's protection. Okay, and understand, because I've heard this too, that that God is punishing people, and he's punishing people for things that they do wrong. You got stop saying that. If you believe that stuff, you need to quit thinking that. And furthermore, you got to stop saying that. That is not the case. God did not bring down a punishment on people. He didn't bring the stuff down on people who, quote unquote, done something wrong. Okay, that's a big misconception. That's a mistake, and that's not something that God does. God is a God of love. He's a God that blesses. He's a God he's a God he's a God of the living, not a God of the dead. Okay, so he's not going to be sitting there. Look, God, it even says it it's even said in the Bible. It's one of the most famous scriptures in the Bible, John 3:16, where it says that God loved the world so much that he gave his only son. He sacrificed his only son. Okay, and Jesus was sacrificed for you and me. Okay, for the world, for the sins of this world. Now, the sin of this world equals death. Okay, so God doesn't want you to die. Okay, He's not going to bring you. He's not going to bring you death. Okay, He brings you life. What it is that it is. It's the sin that is here, and it is God. It is Satan himself who takes that opportunity to bring death and to bring punishment and stuff like that. God is not the one that actually does the punishing by His own hand. I mean, just look in the Bible. I mean, when you see how when you see there's a lot of instances where there's death and stuff like that. There's sickness and stuff like that. Well, God is not the one by His mighty hand that has done that. What it is that God has these laws in order, and it's when we violate them, the consequence is death. Okay, now there are spirits that handle that. Okay, the spirit of death. I mean, you can go back as far as when the Israelites were coming out of Egypt, or the first Passover, really, when all of the firstborn people were in Egypt had died. God didn't kill them. What had happened was that the angel of death came down. That's the whole reason why they had the Israelites had to put on the blood over the doorpost, so that the angel of death would pass them by. So anybody who did not have the blood, the lamb's blood over their door mantle there, the angel of death came and took them away. The angel of death gave them sickness and stuff like that. And it's the same as today. There was another thing that I was like even in the book of Job, it wasn't God that put Job in bad health. It wasn't Job that excuse me, it wasn't God that put Job in bad health. It wasn't God that took away all of Job's children and possessions. It was Satan himself. Satan took the opportunity to do all these things, but God protected Job from dying because Satan, and you can look at it as a virus. Satan is a virus. That virus came upon him, but and without the protection of God, that virus would have killed Job. But because Job had protection, he didn't die. He may have suffered, but he didn't die. And it's the same thing today. Some people will succumb to it, and they may suffer, but they won't die as long as they put their faith and trust in God. They won't die. So and even if the by chance that it happens to kill a person, if they had their faith strong on the foundation, I mean, they're just going to be in paradise, and it's going and where they transcend to is going to be way better than what we got going on right now. So I just want to say, don't be fearful of this stuff. Hold on a second. Let me see something. I want to get this verse right. Because people, we have forgotten the kind of power that we have. Okay? We have forgotten the kind of power that we have. Let's see here. Verse 1. 26. Let's see here. Hold on. Okay. So look at this. God said, "Let us make human beings in our image to be like us, so that they can reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, the livestock, all the wild animals on the earth, all the small animals that scurry along the ground." Okay? So God created human beings in His own image. In the image of God, He created them, male and female. And that God blessed them. So God had blessed us. Okay, He made man. That's male and female. That's what man is. Okay. God had blessed us. He gave us rain over the earth. That's everything on the earth. Okay, that's fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, the livestock, the wild animals on the earth, the small animals that scurry along. Okay, so so He says rain over them. Rain over the fish of the sea, the birds in the sky, all the animals that scurry along the ground. So he's telling man, you have the power to control the things on this earth. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Don't be fearful of this stuff. You have the power to control the earth. Okay, so and that means that this coronavirus and stuff like that. I'm trying to refrain from saying silly stuff like all this silly Peasley, all this kind of stuff. No, it is what it is. It's a virus. It's not something to mess with, not something to play around with. But you still have control over that, and you have control over what it can do to you. So, but here's the thing. Just get in the habit, if you're not already in the habit of doing so, just get in the habit of strengthening your relationship with God. Okay, strengthen your relationship with God, and just strengthen your relationship and ask that He help you that help you gain wisdom and knowledge of what to do. Okay, Ask Him to empower you to be able to command whatever it is that you want to either come to you or or leave you. Okay, and that's really what you need to do. Okay, so don't get don't get don't get afraid of it or anything else like that. But I also wanted to say this is just that take a look take a look at our world right now. Okay, with all these people that are in panic, I asked you just to not you know to pause a little bit and not panic and just take a look at what you're hearing about other people are doing, or even what you see yourselves in regards to the grocery stores and stuff like that. You know, you see people going crazy over buying certain supplies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're just like really crazy about stuff, and it's like you think about it, and you're like, wow. Now I'm gonna say this coronavirus. I believe this coronavirus is just gonna disappear like it ain't nobody's business. Whether or not it just disappears automatically, on its own, or whether or not the media just stops talking about it. Either way, it's gonna disappear like ain't nothing happened. Excuse me. I mean, it's just you're not gonna be hearing about it like you do now. That's what I believe. That's not gonna happen. But what I am saying is that I pretty much can guarantee that there are certain people that are watching what what uh what this society is doing in the midst of panic, and they're testing, and they're looking and observing and seeing what the average person is doing, because for them it's just games. They're looking at how we react, and they're getting knowledge of that so that they can fine tune what they really want to do later on in later on down the line. So when you got stuff like this happening, you better believe that somebody behind the scenes is watching what's going on, and it's an attempt to really do us harm when they really want to do something. So this is nothing but like a little testing ground, really. They're just predicting certain things. They're letting. I think that they're letting this stuff go on as long as it's going on, just to see how people react. Because I do think that something bigger than this corona, something more serious, is coming down the pipeline. I don't know when, but I think it's coming. I think something is coming. And if they're doing something now, they're using all this media hype on the coronavirus to go and do their dirty work in the dark. Okay, so they're watching. Somebody's watching. I don't know who it is, but they're definitely not working on God's side. But they are working in the background. They're watching how we react, and if we keep reacting like wild animals and like people that ain't got no sense, we're gonna make it really easy for them to keep throwing us off guard. Keep throwing stuff at us, and when they get ready to throw out their game changer, it's really gonna cause pandemonium and chaos, because what's gonna happen is that we are gonna turn against each other in order to survive. All the stuff that we have, all the technology, all the stuff that we've been trained to rely on, it's going to be to where there's going to be some crisis, to where the things that we've been hooked on, we are going to we're going to go we're going to lose our minds pretty much. And so there's going to be a large portion of people that's going to they're going to lose their minds so much that they're going to do whatever they can to get what they need. And it's going to end up being that we turn against ourselves. And so, like I said, you got that dude up there just doing his little puppet master stuff, and he's just going to watch and watch and watch and let you all destroy yourselves. And then he's, at least he thinks he's gonna win, and thinks that he's gonna domineer the world or whatever. I'm just I think I'm talking out my butt now and starting to go off in wild things, but that's what I believe. And I just think that if we all just stop what we're doing and think about it, and turn and just start communicating and bonding with God. I think that it would turn. I think it would turn around rather quickly. So that's pretty much all I got to say. Everything else is going to be just a repeat of what I was saying. But yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Okay. All right. Later.